There will be times when you're working in an Excel worksheet and you want to find a key piece of information so you can replace it. For example, I can see here that there are some entries relating to 2005 and 2004. I may want to change all the 2004 entries to 2008. So to do this, what I can do is highlight my whole worksheet by clicking on the little marker in the corner here. And from the Home tab, I want to go to Find and Select. From the Find and Select area, I'm going to choose Replace. And I want to find 2004 and I want to replace it with 2008. Now, if I just wanted to work my way slowly through the worksheet, I could simply start out by choosing Find Next, and Excel finds the first occurrence of that entry. If I knew I wanted to replace them all, I simply click Replace All. Excel will then tell me how many occurrences it's replaced, and we click OK, and we click Close. And what we've done there is use Find and Replace to find an occurrence of something, in this case a year, and replace it with something else. There will be times when you have data in Excel and it won't all quite fit on a single page. Now, sometimes you can see that it won't fit on a single page because you have a dotted line that appears on the screen, or when you go to the print preview, you see something that looks like this, and you can see that it's on 2 pages here. So there are a couple of things that you can do. You could resize this by going to the page break preview area and adjusting the page sizing. But if you know you want it all to print on one page, the easiest way to do this is to go to the Page Layout tab. And from here we're going to choose the little dialog marker here on the Scale to Fit area. From here we're going to choose the option Fit to 1 page wide by 1 page tall, and if we go to Print Preview from here, you'll be able to see it fits all that data on the page. Now just be mindful that if your data is very wide or very long, you might find that the font becomes so small you can't read it. So this is really only used for small items where you just need to manipulate a little bit of data so that you can print it all onto one page. In this segment, we're going to look at copying and pasting options from Excel to Excel. Now, this could be one Excel worksheet to another Excel worksheet, or one Excel file to another Excel file. So the options will be similar, it's just that you would need to have the other file open if you're going to copy and paste between the two. So first thing I need to do is highlight the data I want to copy. So I simply highlight it like this, and then any of the copying techniques, the icon, Control-C, or a right click. The data is now on the clipboard, and if I want to paste it here, all I need to do is click the drop arrow. Now, this can be a little bit overwhelming with the various options, so I want to explain what each of them is to you. By knowing the various options, you can then make some choices as to the one that you want to choose that's the right one for you. The benefit of that is it saves you a whole lot of rework time because maybe you haven't got the outcome that you're after. So let's have a look at them. The first option is a straight paste. So it just pastes the data as is, and you'll see that the column widths here for columns C and D would need to be widened because they're not large enough to fit the entries in. The next one brings across just any formulas and number formatting, keeps the source formatting. This one here removes any borders. This one keeps the source column width, so you'll notice how everything now fits. This one does a transpose, so it flips the data from going down to going across. This one here pastes the values, so it strips out any formulas and just displays the results. This one pastes the values, the outcomes of any formulas, and the number formatting. This one here takes the values, the outcome of any formulas, and has the source formatting on it. This one just takes the formatting. This one pastes a link. This one pastes that data as an image or a picture. And this one pastes it as a linked picture. So you just need to make sure you choose the right option for the purpose that you're after. That's moving from Excel to Excel. The same options will be available if you're doing one Excel file to another Excel file. In Excel, there'll be times where you want to change the formatting of text, but you want to change the formatting in multiple locations. So rather than having to come to item A and make it bold and italic, and then having to repeat the process down these column headings, what you can do is click on a single cell, apply the formatting that you want on your data. So I'm making this bold, italic, and underline. Then what I can do is double click on the Format Painter. Now the Format Painter takes all of those formatting attributes on the piece of text I have there and enables me to apply it to other pieces of text. So all I've done is clicked on that cell, this one, these ones, and these ones here. Now you'll notice as long as I have the paintbrush on, those formatting attributes are available for me to paste somewhere else. To switch the Format Painter off, I can either click on the icon or simply press the Escape key on the keyboard. So the Format Painter enables you to take formatting attributes from a selected piece of text and allow you to apply it to other pieces of text quickly and easily in your Excel worksheets. There'll be times in Excel where you have a lot of data and you want to select it all, but you don't want to have to drag the mouse pointer because maybe the data is more than what you've got on the screen. So here's a quick way to select all the data from this point onwards. Now, this option will select all the cells and all the columns that have had data in them. So I know already in this worksheet I originally had some data in column F. So I'm in cell A1. If I go Control Shift End, it selects everything in my worksheet. Now I can see here I've got some extra blank cells that don't have any data in them now. So if I hold down the Shift key on the keyboard and click the up arrow and then the left arrow, it selects this data. Now this is really useful if perhaps I want to change the font size, etc. Or I simply want to select to the end of the data because there's something that I need to do to this list of information. So that's how to select all in your current worksheet by clicking on A1, Control Shift End will select wherever there's been data in cells. There'll be times in Excel where you actually type in data and then you realize it would have been better a different way. So here we have our regions or our locations as column headings and our products as row headings. Let's just say you want to flip that around. A lot of people would type that out again, but what I'm going to do is highlight this data and I'm going to do a standard copy using any of the formatting options or any of the toolbar options or a right click, etc. Now I'm going to paste, but if I just do a straight paste, it's just going to paste it as it is. I need to click on the drop arrow here and I'm presented with a range of options. Now the option I want to choose is this one here, which is transpose. And you can see here from the screen that it's actually flipping that data over. So if I click on that, it flips the data over, and potentially what I could do is highlight this data and delete those rows and delete this one so that my data was actually presented in the form that I now wanted it to be in. So that's much easier than typing the data in. That's using the feature transpose. In this segment, we look at how you duplicate data on this worksheet onto another worksheet. So in this case, we have a quarter of information. Let's say the layout is exactly the same for the next quarter. Most people will do a copy and paste either by highlighting just that data or clicking here and then doing Control-C, clicking on a new worksheet and Control-V to paste it. This is a bit long-winded. If you take your mouse pointer down to the tab at the bottom that represents the worksheet you want to duplicate, hold down the Control key and hold the left mouse key down on your mouse. When you let go of your mouse and then let go of Control, it creates an exact duplicate of that data. You can then remove the information that you no longer require, and when you enter in your data relevant to this particular period, you can automatically have it update. So that's using Control and a drag with the left mouse key to duplicate the worksheet tab. There'll be times in Excel where you want to name these worksheet tabs so that you can easily identify what's on each worksheet. There's a couple of ways you can do this. The first one is to double click on the tab you want to change, and I'll type in QTR2. Or the alternative is to right click on the tab and choose rename, and then you can type in the text that represents the name.
When working in Excel, there may be worksheets that you have in a file that you want to keep in the file, but you don't want them to be obvious or easily accessible by other people using the Excel spreadsheet. So what we're going to do here is we're going to hide a worksheet tab. Now, hiding a worksheet tab is much less obvious than hiding a row or a column. If you hide a row or a column, logic tells you when you look at the sequence of column headings and there's a letter missing in the alphabet, it's fairly obvious that there's something hidden. The same with the numbers. If they jump or miss a sequence, it's fairly obvious there's a row hidden. With Excel, when you hide a worksheet, unless you go looking for it, you don't necessarily know. So let's say I want to hide this worksheet. If I come down to the worksheet tab, right click on the tab and choose hide. The worksheet tab is now hidden. Now, if I wanted to reactivate that, I could go back down here and I right click on a worksheet tab and choose unhide. It would show me all the hidden worksheets in this file. So it's really handy to enable you to close something off if perhaps there's a formula in one of your worksheets that references it, but you don't want other people to necessarily see that it's there. Although it can be found if someone goes looking, but reality is most general users of Excel worksheets won't go looking to see if there's hidden worksheets unless they're trying to track a formula, whereas a hidden column or row number or letter is very obvious. When working in Excel, you may find you have multiple worksheets that have the same layout, but you may want to make a change across all three worksheets. So for example, here I have region 1, 2 and 3. Let's say instead of workstations on each page or each worksheet tab, I want to replace that with the word scanners. So rather than having to change it on region 1, then region 2, then region 3, I can use a feature in Excel called grouping worksheets that enables me to change the same cell, the contents of the same cell on multiple worksheets at the same time. So to do this, we click on the first worksheet tab, hold down the Shift key on the keyboard and click on the last one. Now, in the event that the worksheets you wanted to change weren't back to back or weren't all in a row but were in random locations, you can use the Control key to select each individual worksheet you want to change. At this point in time, at the top of the screen, you'll notice it says the word group. So what this is telling you is any adding or changes you make will be made to the same cell on every one of the worksheets in this group. So here I'm in A4 and I'm going to type in scanners and press enter. Now if I click on the region 2 worksheet, you'll see it's replaced scanners and region 3 is the same. Now I need to ungroup these worksheet tabs because if I continue, anything I change in one worksheet or add or remove in one worksheet is going to be replicated across everything in the group. I need to ungroup these worksheet tabs. Now the easiest way to do that is to click on a worksheet tab that isn't in the group, but if these three worksheets are the only worksheets in your file, you will need to right click and just choose ungroup. So either of those options will work, and that allows you to make global changes across multiple worksheets in Excel.
When you have an Excel file with lots of worksheet tabs, you can use the arrows to move to where you want to go, but it can be a real challenge if you've got a lot of worksheet tabs. So the quickest way to see and display all of the worksheets in your file is by putting your mouse pointer down here and right-clicking. It shows a list of all the worksheet tabs in your file. To move to the one you want, simply click on it and click OK.